This month we are working with one of my personal favorites. I say that a lot, but this really is my favorite. This is Ranunculus. Ranunculus is known for its high petal count. Each one of these blooms has anywhere between 100 to 130 petals in there. Ranunculus is a cool season perennial bulb. It comes in lots of different colors. We often see it in white, pink, yellow, red, orange, lots of varieties. Even like a really deep chocolate burgundy sometimes. That one's one of my favorites. So we're working with that today, and we're also working with a little bit of acacia knife blade. Acacia knife blade is a substitute we use a lot when somebody wants the look of eucalyptus but might be allergic, doesn't like the smell. We don't mind it here because it doesn't make your hands tacky from the sap. They don't have any sap or any of the properties that would make someone who is allergic to eucalyptus be fearful of this. Something to keep in mind about ranunculus is they do have sometimes droopy necks because they have these very large heads. One reason that they may droop is because they're not getting a good enough drink. So once they get a good drink, they stiffen up a little bit and will stand nice and tall for you. If you do have a droopy head, there's a couple of things you can do. You can give it a nice cut again and put it back in the water, but I'm also going to show you today how you can wire these so they stand up a little taller. So this is florist wire. This is a really thin piece of florist. This is a 24 gauge piece of florist wire, but you can use 24 to 26 gauge wire. And we're going to use a hairpin wiring technique. So you are just going to fold over your wire like this, just like a hairpin. You can see the bloom. We're going to go right in the center of the bloom right there. So you can see how I've started to poke that through, and the wire is coming through on the back side, not through my stem, just next to it in both pieces. And you can very gently pull those. You're pulling it in. Do you spot my wire? You're going to see it disappear. And now my wires are down next to my stem. So we're going to hold those close to the stem, and we're going to use florist tape. I like to use this bright green. It matches the stem a little bit better. Florist tape comes in all sorts of colors. Comes in like brown, dark green, all sorts of colors, but we're going to use the light green. Keep in mind, florist tape only sticks to itself. You want to give it a little bit of a stretch to release that stickiness, and then starting at the top, we're going to wrap around itself once, and then we're going to pull and stretch as we work our way down the stem. Hiding our mechanics. Then you have a little bit of give, a little bit of flexibility. Not a lot, but a little bit to make them do exactly what you want. So today we're just going to do a simple arrangement just with ranunculus. When you are doing an arrangement of just one flower type, that is referred to as monobotanical. So today we're just working with ranunculus. We're cheating a little. We're going to throw our acacia knife blade greenery in there as well. So we're going to start with our greenery. I've got my water here with flower food in it, and I'm going to start with my greenery. I'm actually going to, some of these pieces we might be able to cut up a little bit, not just use the individual stems, but anything that's going to go below the water line, we want to remove that foliage. I'm just using my hands to remove it. I'm going to give it a trim, and I'm going to place it in the vase at an angle. This one, how there's a little bit of another stem coming off, I'm actually going to trim that. We're going to use that into two pieces. So you'll notice on the ranunculus, you'll have foliage and possibly a bud or two. I really enjoy the buds. I just think they're fun and they add a little bit of whimsy to the arrangement, but I am going to remove any of the foliage. I may end up removing the buds as well, but we'll just have to see how the design pans out. For right now, I'm going to leave them attached. See that guy? But I'm going to remove any of my foliage. Start with my yellow ones. They're a little shorter. I've also got many more of them. So we're going to start with those. And each stem, you're going to give a nice clean cut. You can either use, I'm using a florist knife, but you can certainly use pruners or sharp, clean pair of scissors. And you can just start by working your flowers around in your vase. I'm gonna start with sort of maybe 3 around the edges, and then I'm gonna start to work up from there. Now I can already tell that this one has a little heavy of a head, so I will probably be wiring him. Don't stress too much about your placement. You can always go in and change things a little bit. This is about being creative and having fun with your flowers. Ranunculus is actually symbolic of charm and attractiveness. So during the Victorian era, they were very prevalent and often given as a gift if you were courting someone or interested in someone, you would give them ranunculus. So this one has a couple of stems, a couple of those little wispy buds. I am going to go ahead and cut that one off. And then kind of look where I want to place him. I think what I love so much about ranunculus, their high petal count is just enchanting, but they also look very fragile, but they're much hardier than people realize. They're fun to kind of watch continue to open and bloom. They may be really beautiful right now as you arrange them, but as they start to age, their heads could droop. That's where you can certainly pull out a stem at a time and wire them. Ranunculus are a fun flower just to watch as they age, kind of how they move and bend and they start to open. I love looking for their little green centers. I hope you enjoyed arranging with these this month, and we'll see you next time.